Hello, fellow comic readers. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at The Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus by David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane. So, this is the late 80s Spider-Man. To me, this is an iconic Spider-Man. Todd McFarlane is one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. It's one of my favorite eras in Spider-Man comics. Um, when I grew up, I didn't grow up in the 80s or anything like that, but um, his his artwork, his style, is so synonymous with Spider-Man, and um, he also kind of, well, he created Venom alongside David Michelinie, and Venom's an iconic character. I used to love Venom as a kid. I still do, but as a kid, I really liked Venom. It was kind of like one of those things when I was a kid. I was obsessed with Venom, and I was obsessed with Bane. It was like those kind of characters. Um, just kind of, I was obsessed with them as a kid, but um, I still love Venom now and Bane, but things change. They're not my favorite villains anymore. But anyway, this is one of my favorite eras. This is the late 80s, early 90s Spider-Man. Todd McFarlane, man. He created Spawn, and he's famous for Spawn as well. And he has like the toy line McFarlane Toys that does a lot of the DC figures there now. But yeah, this is an awesome omnibus. I remember wanting this a long time ago when it was out of print. They reprinted it. This is probably a super popular, obviously super popular run, so um The Amazing Spider-Man by David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane. The spine. I love that Venom and Spider-Man confrontation on the spine. That's amazing. And then on the back, obviously, you have all the comic covers, which is one of the things I love about the Marvel omnibuses. When they do this, sometimes they don't, but for the most part, they do this. I love seeing all the covers on the back. It's amazing. Collects um, Amazing Spider-Man 296 to 329. And material from Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 10. The price is $100 US, $127 Canadian. I bought this on Amazon a few years ago. I don't think I paid that much for it. I believe I got it on sale. I think I got it for like $80 or something. So you really gotta look around and get the deals. All right, let's take a look. This is amazing. Oh, by the way, under the dust jacket, you have this um, incredible look. It's not just a plain black cover. There's also a picture on the back. It's amazing. Jeez. So we have table of contents. The credits. David Michelinie, Todd McFarlane, a lot of the other credits, all the awesome people that worked on this. Table of contents. So this starts with Amazing Spider-Man 296 in January of 1988. So it's the late 80s, all the way up to 1990. So we got late 80s and just the 1990s. So this is awesome. This cover, man. I love that. He's a big Spider-Man spider with Dr. Octopus in the fucking web. It's awesome. Yeah, so Spider-Man has the black suit in this. He's going through that black suit saga. There's omnibuses for that. I wish I had. I want to get them. The black suit alien saga. I really do want to get that omnibus. I don't have it. I wish I could review it for you, but I don't have that. But yeah. So we get a story with Doctor Octopus having nightmares of Spider-Man, going crazy. It's a fun little story. I always like Doc Ock as a character, especially the old school design. Like, I don't know, it's just like so funny. Guy in this like one piece with those glasses, goggle things. I think and his fucking haircut is terrible. I love the old Doctor Octopus look. It's hilarious. I'm not sure why the coloring changed. He turned blue. I don't know, but anyway. So there's just some really cool stuff you get to see in the beginning of this. Obviously, Spider-Man's still in the black suit. And he's still just going through the miscellaneous adventures, fighting villains, dealing with that. But we get to the end of the issue, where we get to see Mary Jane confronted by Venom. This is the very first appearance of Venom. That's pretty awesome. Then we get Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, issue 300. So Mary Jane, obviously, very traumatized, especially when she sees Spider-Man come back with the black suit on. So the symbiote obviously is on Eddie Brock right now, but Spider-Man's still using a black suit. Man, I gotta reread this. It's been a while since I read this. Eddie Brock, I think he's awesome. He's just like just so he's like steroided out, man. It's just a roided out dude. Just hates Peter Parker, hates Spider Man. You know, it's a perfect mix. You know, the Venom costume obviously wants to get back at Spider Man. You know, Eddie Brock hates Peter. It's a perfect matchup. I think he's a great villain. I love Todd's style. His thing. I love Todd McFarlane's style. It's a really, obviously expressive a little bit. You get crazy lines in the web, crazy lines all over. You know, big eyes on Spider Man, huge eyes. But that's what I love about it. Silver Sable. Yeah, you get to see a lot of this cool stuff. Peter's everyday life, his marriage to Mary Jane, they're kind of like going through their lives. You know, Mary Jane's trying to be an actress and doing that kind of stuff. Peter obviously dealing with his shit. Um, a lot of great stuff in here. This is a really good era. Like, if you want to read, I find the 80s is excellent for a lot of characters, probably most characters. Um, and I think that 90s is underrated too. I know a lot of people hate the 90s, but I find the 90s to be very cool as well. Maybe it's because it's a little bit nostalgic for me, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I find the 80s and 90s is like really cool for comics. That era is amazing. Um, Sandman, it's cool to see him there. Prowler. There's people I talked to. They thought the Prowler was created for the Into the Spider Verse movie. I'm like, no, he's just a character in the comics. But yeah, so it's cool that people know about the Prowler now. I love that as a homage to the very first Superman comic, Action Comics #1. See, if you're a comic book fan, like the whole DC versus Marvel thing is just moot. Like they pay homage to each other all the time. There's respect. Obviously, you got the fan bases. I know Marvel fans can be really annoying. No offense to you guys, but you guys really hate DC for some reason. And it's mostly people I think that just watch the movies and get like gatekeepy or like really tribal about it. But to me, tribalism is just dumb. Don't be stupid. It's like listening to music and being like, well, for the metalheads out there, it's like, oh, I only listen to Megadeth or I only listen to Metallica. I wouldn't listen to the other one. They hate each other. It's like, listen to both or whatever. Listen to none of it. Who cares? Taskmaster, that's cool. And that's like to me, I like DC and Marvel. I really get annoyed because I know a lot of people that are just Marvel fans around here, where I live, and they just shit on DC all the time. And I'm like, bro, I love both. Like I have comics of all of them. I grew up with both. You know what I mean? And I'm guaranteed, like if some of those DC characters were in Marvel, Marvel fans would eat it up, and if some of those Marvel characters were in DC, DC fans would eat it up. And I mean, for the most part, I'll be honest. I think most of my experience, DC fans have always been open to Marvel as well. You get a few obviously, but I found it was really harder for Marvel fans to accept DC, which is really strange because you could like both. Mysterio, this is my favorite Spider-Man villain. I know it's a. I remember I had a guy ask me who my favorite Spider-Man villain was before, and I told him Mysterio, and he looked at me like I had 10 heads, and I'm like, "You asked." Like, just because you like Venom doesn't mean I gotta pick that. You know what I mean? I like Mysterio. Mysterio is my favorite Superman, Spider-Man character. Um, I love Mysterio. Green Goblin. I love the way Todd draws these characters, man. Hobgoblin. I used to love the Hobgoblin as a kid. I always like the way they draw the Osborn's hair in the comics. It's just so, I don't know. It's so unique. Look at the way Spider-Man looks. Look at the webs. Oh my god, man. Just the way it looks is amazing. The lizard, oh my god. The way Todd McFarlane draws Lizard is incredible. I love that. I love the green and purple. The contrast I find is always amazing. Same with Mysterio. The green and purple is just the contrast on those colors. I don't know. It just works so good. I love it. Yeah, these drawings are just fantastic. Todd McFarlane is an amazing artist. I don't care what anybody says. I love his work. Hydro Man. Yeah, we get to see more Venom. And he's not exactly, the early drawings of Venom is not, it's awesome, but it's not as you know, it doesn't have that iconic look until I believe we get to Eric Larson, where we get the kind of like the long tongue, crazy teeth. Obviously, you got crazy teeth there, but I mean, like really exaggerated. Like you get a little bit here, but like I think it gets even more exaggerated in the next omnibus that we'll look at eventually. The Thing, again. I love Spider-Man's connection with the Fantastic Four. I think it's always nice to see the Fantastic Four because they're my favorite Marvel team. I love the Fantastic Four. I really wish I had some of their omnibuses. I'm hoping I get some one day, but a bit out of my price range right now. Scorpion. I love the Scorpion. I love that design. I love the way Todd draws all these characters, man. I highly recommend this. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you cannot. It's just such an etched part of Spider-Man's history that you cannot ignore this Todd McFarlane, or should I say David Michelinie era, because I think people like to talk about Todd McFarlane. David Michelinie, his era, he's a writer. He has a long run of Spider-Man comics. You have him with Todd McFarlane, him with Eric Larson, him with Mark Bagley. I think you need to, you know, give him a lot of credit, which he doesn't get. He works with some really fucking fantastic artists, but I think you need to give him some respect for his writing. Him, Spider-Man, and Captain America. This is really cool. Nice to see crossovers with some other characters. Red Skull. Yeah, so I don't want to take too much of your time, but I want to give you a glimpse into this and how awesome the artwork is and all the cool stories you can read. Magneto. I think there's a hold on. There's a cool cover. Doctor Doom, Kingpin. Hold on. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. You get to see the Hulk, the Gray Hulk in this. That's really cool. It's cool to see Spider-Man and Hulk team up. You got Loki. So there's a lot of appearances in here. That's cool. Yeah, look at this. That's a homage to Batman. He has a baseball bat. You see Robin in the back, or Robin and the Joker. I think that's really cool. See, it's just like I love when DC and Marvel reference each other and show respect, because As a comic book fan, why wouldn't you love both? Look at this. This is amazing. All these covers, cover guy gallery. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. You pick up this omnibus, man, if you got the money. Like, if you, I'm pretty sure it's been reprinted recently. So yeah, pick up this omnibus. It's amazing. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you have to get the Todd McFarlane and David Michelinie era, and you need to get all the David Michelinie era runs because Eric Larson's a fantastic omnibus. I'm going to get to that, and same with the Mark Bagley ones. Um, it's fantastic. I love it. 80s Spider-Man, 90s Spider-Man, awesome. I highly recommend it. You guys should really pick this up. It's more modern than obviously the other books I've been showing, so like I think this is a little bit easier for readers to digest. So I really recommend checking it out. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested. If you guys, what's your favorite era of Spider-Man? If you like this era, if you like Todd McFarlane's art, um, let me know who your favorite Spider-Man villain is. Is it Venom? Please hit like, subscribe, and yeah, have a good day.